Welcome to On Target Hypnotherapy Hypnotic Experiences, where we demonstrate the incredible power of hypnosis in our regular interactive online sessions. I'm Michelle Gale Davidson, your hypnotist, mind coach, transforming lives across the globe. And following is this week's experience. Enjoy. So welcome, Tara, and anybody else that's watching the replay. So happy to have you here. And we're ready to soar past your fear of flying so that you can help others. I'm just going to share my screen. Yeah, so soar past your fear of flying. Turn your airborne anxieties into high-flying adventures. Don't have to move that bar. It's good. So what we're going to dive into is the depths of aviophobia. There's so many different names of phobias, isn't there? We could get confused. I've heard it called aerophobia, which is also a fear of being enveloped by fresh air or moving air. And I hadn't heard of that one before till I had a bit more look at this. And equip you with tools and techniques to overcome your fear to better understand those who suffer as well. So who is this for? So anyone suffering from fear of flying? And you might know someone who suffers. You can be a lot more compassionate to their plight. It's not a conscious choice. And to help those who suffer. So what is fear of flying? Well, it comes out and it shows up in many different symptoms. Could be that you feel anxious or afraid, this sense of dread, despair. Now, really think of it as a phobia. And can you relate to this person sitting over here, doing her breaths, her meditation, hand on her face, or do you just want to curl up on your own somewhere? Yeah, so it might even start to show up before you even book a ticket. I've known many of my clients that have been business clients at times where they've been forced to travel for work. They can decide not flying for a holiday, stay in their own country and drive 1,000 miles and put the family through big road trips. But they have come to see me when it's like they got no choice. They've got to go to a meeting in the city and they don't have the time to drive. Yeah. And they've gone through great leaps and efforts to avoid it. So, and a lot of those have shared that the anxiety they're feeling begins way before they hop on an aeroplane. It can begin the moment they realize, oh, there's a meeting. Oh, they can all come here, can't they? And when they realize they've got the ticket, and it can escalate until the point where they think, no, I'm not going. So possible underlying issues. And this is something we need to also consider, that what if it's simply a fear of height? Might be nothing to do with being in the plane. It could be that they're afraid of just being enclosed, in which case quite often someone showing up for help with hopping on a plane won't go in a lift either. And they won't go in a train that's got little tiny cabins where you sleep in they'll just go in the public cattle class because they can't be in that nice little cozy sleeper place. Might be someone that's actually fearful of unfamiliar places, like agoraphobia. And I've helped people along those lines too. And they haven't showed up about hopping on an airplane because it's been so disruptive for every aspect of their life. That fear of unfamiliar places, to be stuck on an aeroplane and, what if I have a heart attack? What if I get sick? What if I don't like the person sitting beside me? What if they talk to me? What if they don't? So it's not necessarily that, the plane's going to crash at all. It can be many things. And in order to help people, It's really worth getting to what is beneath it. Could be inherited or ancestral. So let's face it, what is natural about being on an aeroplane? Like 100 years ago, it would have been unheard of, except for the people, being thrown into war at such. That's where flying really got going, and they made lots more aeroplanes, which was something to be afraid of. And, there's past life stuff can come into it. And talked to somebody that realized they'd been shot down while they were a pilot in World War II, and they could feel that circumstance, and they kept saying, too many Germans, too many Germans. And he said it over and over. And he was flying a Mustang, and when I talked to him afterwards, and he's saying, what's a Mustang, and didn't really have a recollection of it. And you think, oh, well, that could create that fear of flying. And some people, it's just a fear of getting sick when you're on the plane. So there's all sorts of false signals of alarm, which is typical of anxiety. Or, sometimes we'll make that assumption. They're afraid of the plane crashing. Yet, have we considered all the other things? So statistically, the chances of being involved in a fatal aviation accident are extremely low. It's like 1 in 11 millions. So it's actually by far the safest form of transport. And even those that have experienced turbulence or, scary stuff, they actually survive. It's just a scary event. They weren't actually in danger. There's so many things in place in the aviation industry to make sure we've got skilled pilots, skilled navigators, aircraft mechanics. There's such a degree, particularly in your commercial airlines, of they've got to tick many boxes for safety. Yeah, so it's not a conscious problem. So for some people, just seeing a flight will trigger that feeling. Even though you're not looking at a screen, or like you're only looking at a screen, not actually flying. Yeah, but if you find that you don't want to see a plane, you don't want to experience or even see that, you don't have to watch this next screen. You can just turn away for a moment, and I'll just explain what each picture is. But what I like to do when I work with people is to grab a bit of a measure of where we are to start with. So you can, and it's great for you to measure yourself. You think, oh, I look at that and I'm like, oh, and you can give that a number out of 10 for, oh, no way I'm getting on that plane. Or, like 1, it's like, yep, let's go. It's all right to have a little bit of trepidation for a flight. So I'm just going to go that next screen. So there's different stages. There is a waiting at the airport. You can even think, oh, what do you actually feel? For some people, that's the strongest time, where that's like, oh, I'm all right once I'm on the plane, but don't make me wait for the plane. And all these what ifs cycling around in your head. So just in your own mind, have a look at each one. There's waiting at the airport. There's the actual takeoff. Yet once you're up in the air, there could be a sense of comfort, or maybe more dread comes in when you're actually in the air. And this was me on a flight, just a short one. And I recommend when you are starting to feel like, yep, let's do this, just jumping on a few short flights around the hour. And, that one cost me $46 from Gold Coast to Sydney just the other week. But you've got to plan in advance to get those sorts of prices. But yeah, Yeah, and I wasn't really surrounded by anybody that seemed particularly bothered. But there can be this serenity sense of, oh, wow, this is amazing when you look out the window down on the clouds. Some people are just bored with it. And some people are like, oh, how long is this going to take? So we just consider each change. And after this session, we'll come back to this window and you can gauge for yourself if there's any shift in any of these in particular. And there's the getting pampered, catered for, just sit back, get waited on. And some airlines are a whole lot better than that than others. So if that's your thing, you choose the one where you're waited on most. Yeah, so I'll just see if you don't mind giving me a little feedback on each of those. Tara, would you be okay to
Yeah.
see what numbers you had, like the weight at the airport?
The weight at the airport was about a 7.
Yeah.
So that was okay.
Well, 7's still pretty high. 7's
Oh,
like,
no, okay, I've
up.
got it. So that would be about a 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, okay there. Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
That one was the worst one. Well, that one and the next one.
Yeah, because that's still
being up in the air, like the actual leaving the ground, it's where it was about a 9, and the next one very similar.
Yeah, even when you're up there, you've leveled out.
Yeah, it's just being up
still way, yeah,
ground. Yeah, seeing that image.
Yeah.
And there you are. That was kind of about a 1. That was fine. You look quite happy there, and that didn't seem to bother me being all squashed in.
Yeah, that's not your problem.
Next one was pretty cruisy, about 2 or 3.
Yeah, and so you're getting a bit of distraction there, aren't you? They won't be doing that whenever there's turbulence. If they've looked at the weather, you know, they're pretty careful that part only happens when there's not too much trouble expected.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the hospitality, no problem with that. So I think it's more the leaving the ground.
Yeah.
And the waiting at the airport, he looks quite relaxed there. So, but I suppose the fear would be growing.
Yeah.
Definitely it would be the impending flight. So I will change that number around to about a 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what we see in typical mainstream, you Google it, and it says all these things, which is really talk therapy stuff, which it's so slow and it doesn't get to the root of the matter. It takes a long time. So we've got education, just understand the mechanics. It's not that dangerous. Even in turbulence, there can be a drop in the air, but there's safety in height. It's whenever you're way up higher, you've got all this time in the world to recover from any change in the air. The little pockets and to understand the way the plane lifts, the mechanics of it. And I found that that's not really the problem for most people. They know that stuff and it doesn't help them much. Breathing and relaxation techniques. Now, that's something that you might have already tried. There's a technique where you breathe in for a shorter than you breathe out. So it can be like for 2 and then out for 6 or something. And that actually, there's science behind that actually helps slow that crazy racing heart, but still just Band-Aid stuff. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. The type of therapy can help reframe negative thought patterns can desensitize you to your fear over time, but yeah, over a long time. And yeah, it's sort of every little gain you make, you can lose it as you, yeah. Talk therapy, so it's common in psychology. That exposure therapy, just hop on that plane and have those short flights. It's sit on a plane and hop straight back off again, you know. Medication, the Valiums, the Zolofts, all of those, or something that just puts you to sleep. The alcohol, yeah, people have regretted it. They're saying that need to get drunk as to get on the plane in the first place, and then have a hangover for the first day of holiday or not be able to perform at a business meeting. There's distraction, engage in activities that distract you from fear. So you watch a movie, read a book, listen to music, take a friend that's going to keep you distracted, and seek support. So yeah, we do emphasize if you've had any issues, just tell the staff. They'll watch out for you, check on you. And yeah, the staff at the airport, the staff when you hop on the plane. Yeah, and that's their job. They really appreciate being told, but all of this not really getting to the root of the matter. So hypnotherapy resets the subconscious program. And for you in particular, Tara, there was a time that you were comfortable flying that you already shared with me.
Yeah.
Until a certain incident.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you just refresh me on that incident again, please?
Yes, I was just quite comfortable flying on Air India to India, and the plane dropped, and I observed that the plane had dropped, but my partner, who was normally a very calm person, freaked out. And I was a bit shocked by his reaction. So I think I absorbed his reaction into me, and somehow the thought of that happening, the thought like later on when we did get to India, all I could kind of think about was flying back, and that was kind of traumatic. So I never really spoke about it to him or to anybody really. So it kind of got buried into my subconscious, which is where I'm at now, trying to release that.
Yeah, now you're ready to release that.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
kind of got to if I want to live a life.
Yeah, you want to fly again. You've
Yeah,
got
exactly. I want
places to go, things to do.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah. And so have you experienced hypnosis before? Just some sort of trance? You mentioned about that 10 days silent retreat in India. There would have been meditative sort of spaces.
Oh, that was very deep.
Mm.
That wasn't a trance situation. It was very much like a mental concentration camp, because you don't speak. You're kind of there in a little cell, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's a very different style to like going into a trance
Oh,
or
well,
a
I
day.
won't take you there then.
No, don't take me there.
No, some people love there. They think, wow, just let me go back on that plane.
No,
Go back.
it was wonderful, but yeah, it was very intense. It was quite an intense experience.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, that idea of dropping into pleasant trance, have you open to that idea?
Yeah, I've done all that, like
Yeah.
and I remembered having some type of hypnosis. Yeah, I think I nearly as a child met one of those silly people that do all that silly hypnosis
Oh,
on stage.
like stage hypnotists. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you're a lion now, go up and growl at a woman, or like something really silly. And I remembered my will saying, this is rubbish and silly. I'm not going to do what he says. So yeah, I couldn't be hypnotized by the charlatan, by the
Yeah.
showman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, yeah, it is part of it, that disconnected awareness, a
Yeah.
alternative state. And it's a place where we bypass the conscious reasoning, the bodyguard of the conscious at the doors, and we bypass that and saying, hey, and we'll talk to subconscious, bit like the naughty child saying, hey, do you get that you're leaving this person stuck in a unhelpful place and you're not protecting her at all? You're actually making life really disruptive and difficult. And yeah, it's like, hey, you,
Yeah.
to the subconscious.
Yes.
I like to get a subconscious response, and it can be a nod of the head, a finger flicker, stuff like that, which yeah, but we can do that with you here live. Yet people watching the replay, it's still fine. You'll notice what you notice, and just go along with it. So there's these stages which I don't always explain when, like, to a client, but it may help those others that might watch the replay that are actually wanting to help people with this sort of work as well. So yeah. You create the trance, you establish subconscious communication. And sometimes you'll know that just through observing body language and such, and get an agreement that, hey, flying's actually pretty safe way to get from one point to another, and some points to another, it's the only way to go, because you're not going to hop on a boat for 4 weeks, release the negatives. So that's part of that clearing, that one event that did go on for you, that was a sensitizing event, which is one of the things we look at. Just acknowledge it. Know that you survived.
Yes.
And let it go. Let it be in the past where it belongs. Yeah. And we actually snap off that connection.
Good.
So, and yeah. And in its place, we can have courage, which is followed by confidence. And I always say courage. Some people say, oh, just give me confidence. I think, okay, that can follow courage, the courage to hop on that plane, the courage. And I liken it to when a child's learning to crawl and then pull themselves up and then eventually walk, they won't have had confidence until they've experienced, hey, yeah, this works. Then confidence comes, but it's at that stage where they just have to be game to, rather than go from that space to that space, walking, that they sort of drop down and crawl, and even though they'd have the ability, but courage first, and confidence. And then we forward pace. We imagine being on that flight and then be excited. And then we pop back and test and repeat if we need to. Yeah, and so I'm going to stop sharing now. And what we can do is just get you comfortable first.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just kick back, relax, somewhere where you feel really comfortable, not going to be interrupted.
I think you'll be able to see me here.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks so much. Yeah. Yeah, and so to begin, just want you to look at the palm of your hand. And then it's about 10 inches or 20 centimeters from your face. Then drop that, looking at the palm of your hand, into a daydream focus. And as you notice yourself blink, like the dog sitting over there, it's having a nice relax too. And you notice yourself blink. And that same blinking, that you surrender the eyelids function to subconscious function, just happens to happen. That same surrender now into your fingers. As those fingers just relax that bit more, and you'll notice that certain amount of curl coming into them. And as you notice this, you allow subconscious to just do what it does. And in that hand will start to move towards your face in short, jerky movements. You don't have to make it move consciously. You'll just happen to notice as you allow it. And consciously, you might wonder whether you do something right or not. But subconscious minds had done many first things. A first thing when you learned to walk and you had that courage. Without any real conscious training and coaxing at all. And as that hand gets closer and closer to your face, you find your eyes simply want to close. They start to feel that bit heavy. You're aware of your breath. You're aware of the breath, that bit longer, slower, and deeper. As you just surrender to the pleasantness. And so looking forward to that hand making its way to touch your face, and at any stage, your eyes really couldn't be bothered staying open any longer. They simply close. And then the hand can then come down to relax on a surface or your body. And in that, you just surrender, letting go as you relax through your jaw. And more of that letting go through your eyelids and all the little muscles around your eyes. Just let go. It's just so nice. And you know at this stage, if for any reason you don't hear my voice for more than 1 or 2 minutes, you'll come back to full alertness and re-establish the call, knowing that you can go as deep as your subconscious mind knows. It's perfectly fine to go in the most pleasant way. Yet it's not sleep, it's trancy. It's relaxing. It's beneficial. As you go deeper and deeper still, and as you imagine yourself in that comfortable, homely sort of space, no matter where you are. And in that space now, we're going to set our intention, the intention for this session, to be a comfortable passenger. To be a comfortable passenger on an aeroplane. That is the intention. And we put that in this space now. And then that space coming in and through and to you, as you breathe in that intention, it goes into your lungs, this intention to be a wonderful passenger. And you can add anything to that you so desire. Just in your inner mind. Other stuff that you know that you might have been wanting to work on. And then conscious mind can just drift away and be the watcher. No need to hang around. This is fine. This is a realm of comfort, of benefit. And you can be a little bit curious just how much more relaxed you can go as you double your relaxation on every count now from 10. And down and deeper relaxed, and double the relaxation to 9. Then 8. And if you do wish to shuffle around, you'll be able to for maximum comfort, but then you won't really be bothered to need to move. Only in order to signal here or there and the rise and fall of your breath. The breath longer and slower. And double that relaxation once more from 9 and 8. And 7. And flowing a pleasant feeling from head down through your jaw and back of your throat, and where your spine joins your skull. Just let it flow down and then through your shoulders and down to your elbows, your wrists, to tips of your fingers. Deeper and deeper you go. And all the way back to your shoulders again, doubling that relaxation. Yeah, arms can feel quite relaxed, even heavy. More relaxation now coming up into your eyes. Just you can be a little bit curious as to how your eyes are now locked closed. I've locked them closed from the outside. You lock them closed from the inside. And all the little muscles around your eyes just couldn't be bothered to work. If you felt like giving that a little test, noticing how locked closed they are, you can give that a little test. But then stop trying and go deeper. Be that little bit curious. Eyes comfortably closed throughout the rest of the session as you're aware of your chest and your upper back, stomach, lower back, down through your thighs and knees, ankles and toes. Then we place a doorway where there is no door. A threshold to freedom. Freedom to be the excited, happy passenger on an aeroplane. Freedom in a safe and beneficial way. Freedom. More fun, love and laughter and exploring in your life. And you're ready to go through that doorway. And we're going to go deeper down. So when you've made that doorway, you just you nod to let me know and to let you know that's right. And you can go through with your pets or people living or past, angels, guides, some sort of protection, whatever's your thing. You're never truly alone, never truly separate. And through you go. So push with your mind, a big deep breath and push through. And slide on down to that change bay, a beautiful bay, cleaning bay, changing bay. Bay of an ocean, a bay in a river, a bay in a lake, a spa bath indoors, whatever comes, a cleaning space with flowing water, with plants, with beauty. You're in a sanctuary, and more detail coming to that now. As you start to connect now with a divine inner wisdom, you can connect beyond the usual boundaries of space and time. And into this space, there's a time where you were a pretty excited, happy flyer. If you can throw a invitation to that younger self and invite that younger self in. And that invitation accepted, and here comes the younger self. Someone excited about flying, if that younger self is available. And if you were born into this world afraid of flying, and that can happen too, you need to toss that invitation even further back. Or you could toss it into the future. That's right, doing beautifully. And so there's a essence of you. It's the excited flyer. And here they are. Then you find a difference in the form of a darkness, a dark, unhelpful emotion, energy, connection. So in this nice cleaning space, and we sprinkle on some sort of fairy dust of some sort, detergent to the dirty rag, and an unusual color now leaving your body as every and all connection to fear of flying leaving your body. And you recognize and install into that space the actual fact is it's really, really safe to fly. It's really safe. You're a lot safer flying than many other activities that you take from one day to another. It's actually really safe. And that comes into that space as you make that space, as more and more darkness leaving your body, as the irrational fear can get out. You may have had an incident and you survived. It's okay. You survived. It's perfectly fine to be scared in a moment, but you survived. So let it go. Let the past be in the past where it belongs. And perhaps something else went on. Maybe one time you got sick on a flight and you don't want to get sick again. Okay, wear a mask. Do what you have to do if you feel like it. But know that all these things can happen anytime. The space you occupy is your space, and the space you occupy is the same space, whether you're in an aeroplane, you're in the room where you are now, or you're in the outdoors. You occupy the space, so you focus on the space that you now occupy. It's a beautiful space. You can create this beautiful space wherever you are, simply by counting down and going through that wonderful doorway you just created. This is always available to you to bring yourself to calm and relax. And you can count down and go even deeper from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is that gift you give yourself, the breath, the doorway, the inner sanctuary. As you release more and more of what's unhelpful, irrational fear, and any other negative emotions been dragging around with you like a big heavy chain, as guilt and shame, sadness. You can experience these in the moment. You don't need to carry them upon your body. So you start to let it out. More and more darkness, that unusual color leaving your body, and more inner wisdom, adventure, excitement, self-care coming into this space. And you feel lighter and lighter and lighter in this space as you let go of that heavy load. And now it's time to float above that space. You can evaporate like you're cruising on up, evaporating like a cloud is formed. You don't need to bring your actual physical body on this. Let's just have a bird's eye view upon your own energy as you look upon your life free from this fear. Free to be the happy traveler, happy passenger. You feel lighter and lighter, and you're going to look upon your life as you book that next flight. As you're excited. As you take off. As you enjoy the flight, get served, waited on. Just know that any amount of bother does not affect the outcome. You might as well enjoy the ride. No amount of worry as a passenger. It's none of your business what the staff are doing. They do their job. You trust them to do their job. The pilots, the navigators, the air traffic controllers, it all comes together in this beautiful, safe, none of your business way. You just be the passenger. Enjoy the ride. Just like you can enjoy this ride on this amazing planet that's hurtling through space. You don't even have to think about it. Just enjoy the ride and do what you do. You read a movie, you watch a book, you talk to somebody, you listen, you relax, have fun, enjoy the ride. When you know deep inside that you can be a happy passenger, you can and you shall and you will. As you observe and you just fast forward at the speed of thought to landing, to enjoying the destination, the adventure, and flying back home again, and back you come. This time we're coming all the way back into the now, knowing that, hey, you've done it. Like you've done it and it was okay. Hey, you can have this fun and have this exciting experience and no longer be grounded and stuck on the ground by fear. And when you know, I'm just going to count you back up to full alertness by counting to 10. And when I get to 10 and not before, your eyes will open, feeling wonderful. So 1, back into the present with that gift from the past or the future. Just integrate it into your whole self. 2, or fun, love, and laughter coming your way. 3, exciting. 4, you're a happy passenger. 5, enjoy the journey. 6, 7, 8, comfortable to fly, enjoy it. Big deep breath, come back into self, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. And 9, back to full sensation, feeling sensational. And 10, eyes open when you're ready. So, welcome back.
Thank you.
Hmm.
That's great.
That's good.
Yeah.
And how was it great? Tell me.
I kind of let go of all the darkness. That was so good. Like letting that visualization around the water and releasing, and then being on the plane, and acknowledging about trust. So yes, that word came through of having trust and faith in the divine, you know, really, that instead of feeling the opposite of that, of no faith and no trust. And so that was very interesting.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the intention. Well, it can always connect with what most people's belief system is, that, you know, that idea, it's not your business, let them do their job, just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Trust. Yeah.
Trust.
That it comes through. So
but I think I used to feel trust. I used to get on a plane when I used to fly happily.
Yeah.
Of just trusting.
Yeah.
And I think that's what came through of just, yeah, Tara, you used to just get on there and trust everybody was doing their job, and this is the way it all works.
Yeah, and that's
so that was interesting.
Yeah, you can practice that on buses and trains and all sorts of things as a passenger in a vehicle, any vehicle. So you just realize there's trust there or not. That, yeah, it might depend who's driving, particularly if you're in a car with an L-plater or something, a learner. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the anxiety changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, true.
And that's okay. But we're dealing with professionals here. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll finish off soon. But what I'd like to do is just get your numbers again. Are you open to sharing where you're at when you look at these other images again? Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so just share the screen again. All right, so, and bring trust, just center yourself. We're not wanting to stir anything up. It's just a little test. And like I said, we would, you know, if you're still higher numbers, we just go through what we just went again and think, oh yeah, let's get rid of more crap. Let's go deeper. Let's trust that experience. So there you are, waiting at the airport. How are you? What number?
About an 8.
An 8, that's high.
Oh, I mean,
yeah, we're up.
about a 2.
I do, yes. We've got to look at what scale we're using here. I'll have to put it on my next slide, won't I? So it's a visual that 8's terrified and 2's
yeah.
Okay. taking off.
So that would be about a 2.
Wow, that's heaps less. Well
I
done.
know. I kind of felt excited about it, watching it.
Yeah, let's be excited. Yeah, there you are. The takeoff's over. And it's, the fact is there's safety in height. It really is.
Yeah.
You can feel even safer once you're up there,
Wow. Yeah, about a 2 or 3 with
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, it's all right.
And that
You were okay on that one already.
yes.
This one, a lot of when you're on a long overseas flight, 12 hours of a 14 hours is like this. You don't see much.
Yeah,
It's-
true.
yeah, this plus the next one where you just get waited on or go to sleep or watch a movie. So this is a bit that, when it's a long flight, that's a space where you can just, let's just go to my inner sanctuary. Let's watch a movie, all of those things. So give me a
Yeah.
number for that one.
About a 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome. Well
cruising.
done, Tara. Yeah,
And that one's no issue. They're getting the sense
good
getting
distraction.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's easy. That's about a 1 or a 2.
yeah. No, well done. That's great.
Yeah. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. Good on
I
you.
love that installing courage and then confidence, like
Yeah,
keeping it in my mind. Yeah.
yeah. Too often we try to jump to confidence first, and yes, we can.
Yes.
And for some people on a longer session, we'll find somebody that they've flown with, someone that they trust so much, and invite them into that space. And we'll be quite specific who comes.
Yeah. Yeah.
For some people, if they cannot remember a time they were comfortable passengers, so would not have said, "Hey, let's throw an invitation to the past." There'll be nobody that's going to accept. Saying no, no point doing that. Yeah, so the tailored session can work even better. So yours was still a little bit general, but I'm so grateful for you to be here. Thank you.
Oh, yes, Michelle. Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
and then we forward pace. So you imagine being on the plane, and all of this can be reinforced. I'll share this with you and can listen to that section.
yes.
Reinforce, or you just do it in your own mind, because the language of subconscious isn't about my words as much as images and feelings.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I get
yeah.
that.
But, well, where are you flying to next, Tara?
Well, it's meant to be Sydney
Yeah,
in November, just
yeah.
for my workshop to be
Mm.
with the people.
Yep, yep. And flying from where? Where are you located?
Gold Coast.
Okay, so you've only, that's that same flight that I was on. Well, that was Jetstar, but who knows which
Yeah.
one you're going to be on. Yeah.
So when you mentioned to continue with, I can continue with this one or
Yeah.
have it
Or,
tailored.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just jump on a session with me. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then I can book a session with you
Yeah.
either online.
Yeah.
On
Yep.
doesn't
Yep.
matter.
I'll send you a link on anyone
Yeah.
that's got the
And then I
replay.
book,
There'll be a link wherever you're
I book
watching this.
in with you. I book in
Yeah.
as a client.
Yeah.
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 And I pay you for that session.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you send me that information with the email of
Yeah.
perfect?
Yeah, yeah, and we can even book just have a quick half-hour online chat where we just work out ways to work together. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Fabulous, Michelle.
a
That's
whole
fine.
lot more to things, because the next
Yeah.
one is uncover your unique keystone habit. So reaching goals through the power of the ripple effect. So that's just one tiny thing. Like if you drop that keystone out, which is that one above the arch, the whole
Yes.
thing just has a massive impact. So
Right.
we're looking at change one thing for a massive impact, which creates a ripple effect. For example, the lady that quit smoking, so she's gone from big, fat, unemployable to running marathons. But
Wow.
it
So
began,
that's your next one. This is your
yeah,
next one.
yeah, and that's in a couple of weeks. But you'll be on the email list, and anyone watching this will be on the
Yeah.
list now to so uncover one thing that suddenly affects everything else. And so,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and it
No,
doesn't have to be a big thing. It's like that one that made the bed in the morning, get up, make your bed, and the whole day goes better.
yeah.
That that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Arrive home, and first thing you do is make yourself a really healthy, refreshing, non-alcoholic drink to break the drink cycle of an evening. So just little things, and you don't have to think, oh, it's so hard, I'm stopping drinking, or whatever it is. It's like, actually, I'm going to arrive home. I'm really going to enjoy this amazing drink I'm making for myself. It might be a sparkling mineral water and some lemon juice or something, but something that hydrates and healthy. And next thing, actually, I'll have another one of those. Oh, I'll have that with my meal. And next thing, you've got past that bit without any intention of quitting drinking. So the keystone habit that just creates that ripple effect. So hope to see you on that one.
You will. I've got some things buzzing around
Yeah. Okay.
that I know it'd be helpful for
Yeah.
with
So
my
I've after some
study.
feedback as
Yeah.
the timing of that too, so I can get more people at once. So yeah, we'll be looking at what's going to be best timing for everybody, so I can talk
Thank you
to
for
you about
today.
that in the meantime anyway. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just send you the invite for a half-hour chat where we can just chat and work out where to from here.
Next step.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you, Michelle.
Yeah.
I really,
Thanks, Tara.
really enjoyed it. It was
I've just
fabulous, like getting the whole process. Yeah, I love it.
grateful
Thank
to
you.
have you here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.